Hello, and welcome to the recording for using prefill logic in an active form in Practify. Practify has made it easier to review or edit information that may already be present in your organization using an active form. For example, you may want to double check a client's contact information. Prefill logic allows administrators to specify lookup values for form fields and enable prefilling from the stored data. We will start by creating an active form in a task template. Note that an active form can also be created from a process task. To get started, we will navigate to our app launcher and select Settings from the Settings navigation menu. We will open up Task Template and then click New Task Template. Here, we will name our task template in the subject field. Next, we can label its priority, status, description, and task type. We will scroll down and select the appropriate assignment type, as well as creating or selecting the task group. This task group will be related to assets. From here, we can click Save. Now we can begin to build our active form. Here, we can create the active form sections, active form fields, active form field assignments, as well as actions. To get us started, we will create our action by clicking the caret to the right of Action and selecting New. Our action name will be saved to Related Task, and the action type will be Create an Asset Liability. Now we can click Save. Now that our action has been created, we will navigate back to the task to create our new active form section. We will click the New button to the right of Active Form sections. Our label will be deposit information with an order number of 1. Then we can click Save. We will go back to our task and scroll down to now create our active form fields. We will click the New button to the right of Active Form fields to get started. For this example, our first field will be the account number. As we're organizing our fields, we want to make sure that this field is the first that is seen. To do this, we will give it the order number of 1. This field will pre-fill the account number from the associated client asset. In the field detail section, we will select text as the type, and we will select task record from the preferred lookup location. We select task record because we pre-filled from a record, not an active form. The pre-filled field path can be found in the Object Manager for the specific fields we are pulling data from. In this example, it will be the Asset Liability field and the account number. I will go ahead and copy and paste our API name. Now, we need to determine if this field is required. For this example, we will leave Required unchecked, and we will change our Display As to Read Only, because we are pre-filling an account number in from review versus making modifications. The section that we would like for this information to fall under will be Account Deposit Information. Once our section is selected, we can click Save and New. Next, we will create the deposit date and the deposit amount fields. These two fields are custom to this Practify organization. Our label will be deposit date with an order number of 2 because it will come after the account number. The field type will be date because we need this information moving forward. we will want to check the box for required. We will make sure that we leave the display as editable, and the section will be the account deposit information. Once completed, we can click Save and New, repeating our previous steps, but for deposit amount. The order number will be 3. The type will be currency, and once again, the field will be required as well as editable and will fall under the account deposit information section. Because this is our last field, I will go ahead and click Save. Once saved, we will navigate back to the task and refresh our screen so we can see the active form preview. Make sure the Show Conditional toggle is set to active to view this preview. We will click New to create the active form field assignment. Here, we will search for the active form fields that need assignment. In this example, we will be using the deposit date again. We will need to reference the API name, which can be found in the Object Manager for this related field. As a reminder, deposit date is a custom field in this Practify organization, as well as deposit amount. The action will be saved to related task. We will click the Save and New to repeat the steps for deposit amount. Now, we can navigate back to the task and run the validation check. We will see one issue related to the account number because it is being used for reference purposes and not connected to an action. Once the validation check is complete, we can go and test our task template with an active form from the Advisor app. To begin our test, we can open up the financial section of a client record. Here, we will select the asset that we will be depositing funds to. Once the asset is open, we can click the caret to the far right and select New Task from Template. Our task group will be Assets, and our template will be Account Deposit. A new window will appear where we will select the task priority and type, and then click Next. We will then see a success window, and we will close that out by clicking Finish. Once finished, we will click the Open Task tab and start our account deposit task. We will open the Active Form tab, and here we will see the account number has been pre-filled. We can fill in the rest of the information and then mark the task as complete. As a part of our February 2026 release, Practify added a new prefill option for active form fields, the ability to prefill using a formula. Previously, active forms supported prefilling from related records or static values. With this enhancement, you can now select with a formula as your prefill option for any active form field. The formula executes when the form loads and recalculates dynamically as users change dependent field values. This makes it possible to calculate default values based on data from the prefill lookup location, such as a task record or related entity, apply logic that wasn't possible with static values or direct field references, reduce manual data entry, and ensure consistent defaults across your organization. This option is available for all active form field types and all active form actions. For step-by-step configuration guidance, refer to the Configuring Active Forms article at success.practify.com. You have now reached the end of our video for using prefill logic in an active form. Feel free to reach out to your CSM or our support team to learn more. Thanks for watching.